Hi everyone, my name is Fiona Kane from Informed Health, and today I wanted to talk to you about how to avoid triggering your inner child or rebellious inner child around food. It's a really common thing that when people say that they can't resist food or they feel like they're doing a lot of emotional eating, those sorts of things. There's a broad topic. There's lots of things around that, but one of the things is that we trigger our inner child, and our inner child feels like they're missing out. So that's often who we're triggering. I wrote an article for this about this in Brave magazine, Women with Attitudes Brave magazine. So I will pop a link in below as well after this. I just wanted to briefly go over what I talked about in that article. So one of the things that can really get that rebellious child within us to sabotage our health goals is when the rebellious child just wants instant gratification, right? So they're not thinking about your health goals. They just want it and they want it now. So one of the things is if you're not having any fun or any joy in your life, that child just wants to have fun. They're a child. That child within you just wants to feel some joy, some fun, and do something. And if you're not doing it anywhere else, you'll often find yourself doing it around food. So there's nothing wrong with finding joy from food and enjoying your food, by the way. However, if it is a problem and if you're really struggling to stick to your goals because they're being sabotaged all the time by this needing to splurge on all sorts of fun foods, then maybe look at other ways of bringing joy and fun into your life so that it's less, that your inner child is not so triggered. If that your inner child is happy and having a good time and has some moments of fun, they're less likely to go looking for it on your plate. Right? So that is one option. Another one is looking at the language that you use around food. We've got to be really, really careful of the language that we use. So one of the things I hear people say is that I've been good or I've been bad or it's the wrong food or the right food or it's, or I'm things like, oh, I'm not supposed to eat that or I'm not allowed to eat that or oh, I'm on a diet and lots of language around not allowed to, can't, good, bad, that sort of thing. And the problem with all of that language is it's quite emotive language. So for starters, any language around restriction, like I can't, I'm not allowed to, that sort of language, straight away for me, that kind of triggers the rebellious child in me, because the rebellious child, don't tell me what I can't do, right? So we need to be aware of the language we're using, and it's no, I choose not to eat that. No, that doesn't sit well with me when I eat that. That food just isn't good for me. I eat that food, I don't feel well, I don't like eating that food, whatever it is, but something that is empowering, that is your choice, something that you're choosing to do, as opposed to I can't, not allowed to, that kind of restrictive language. It has to be language around it's your choice, uh, when you choose to or when you don't choose to have that food, as opposed to can't, wrong, bad, whatever. Because as soon as you bring up any of that language, it's really emotive language, it really will bring out the rebel in you who will kind of say, don't tell me what I can't do. I'm going to have the whole family block. And not that I've ever done that. Have you? I'm sure. I may have done that in the past. So, um, so ensure it's empowered language. I choose to, I want to, that kind of thing. As opposed, this, I feel good when I do this, or this helps me achieve my goal. But nothing around can't, shouldn't, anything like that, because you can actually eat anything you like. You're a grown up, or usually I'm usually speaking to grown ups. You're allowed to eat whatever you like, but you also have to live with the consequences of your choices. So that's up to you what that looks like, right? So the other thing too is, look, it's being just aware of when we talk about food, just being very factual around food. So again, not talking around like, so for example, I think about how a food's going to make me feel. So I say, oh, I'm not eating that because when I eat that, it makes me feel sick, which is just very factual and very kind of sciencey kind of science, probably the wrong word, but just very descriptive and matter of fact, right? but it's not an emotional thing around, oh, I can't have the food and it's my favorite thing and I really love the thing and I'm not allowed to, or any of that kind of stuff, right? So essentially, it's just looking at language that is supportive of choice, as opposed to language that's all about restriction and not allowed to make choices. Essentially, it's got to be your choice. If it's your choice, you are likely to do it. And so, whereas if it's something that you're not allowed to do or that you've been told you can't do, therein lies the problem. So just be aware of the language that you use around food. If you're using any childish language like, oh, I've been bad, so I deserve to have the thing, or I've been good, so I deserve to have the thing, just note that all of that sort of language is very childlike. And when we're using childlike language, we're more likely to bring up that child in us. And look, the last thing is, don't try and be perfect. The problem with trying to be perfect is you can't be perfect. It's not possible. So a lot of people, I see this all the time in clients, they just have this real all or nothing attitude around food. So either I'm eating really well and I'm doing it perfectly and it's all great, or I'm not and I failed and I may as well start again on Monday next week, next month, next year, whatever. And you're never going to get it perfect. So don't focus on making it perfect. Just be okay with it being just how it is, right? It is what it is. Today, whatever happened, happened. You've got to move on with it. It's only ever about your next choice, not about what you did last week or earlier today or whatever. It's about your next choice. And if you make it about choice, and if it's an empowered choice, I'm choosing to do this, and it's good to have a really good reason why. I've got really good reasons why. For me, it's all about how I want to feel. I have lots of issues with my health if I don't look after myself. So I've got very, very specific goals about how I want to feel, how strong I want to be, essentially what I want my life to look like and what my health has to look like to support that, right? So that's what I'm thinking about when I'm making my choices. So I'm not thinking, oh, I shouldn't, or I'm not supposed to. I'm thinking, hey, I want to have this outcome. I want to feel good. I don't want to have that outcome. This is what I'm going to choose. That is much more empowering way to talk about food. So if you're having these kinds of issues, I'm a nutritionist and a mind body eating coach, so I can support you with that sort of thing. So you can book in for a free chat with me. I'll put the link below. 20-minute chat online just to see if we fit, if I can help you, that kind of thing. And also we have our online group program coming up, and it's a mind and energy reset. That starts on the 10th of October, and we talk a lot about language and food and things like emotional eating, that kind of thing in that program. We also talk about lots of strategies in regards to stress and managing your energy, and some of them are food-based strategies, some of them are language-based strategies, all sorts of strategies in regards to energy, stress, anxiety, mindset, and all of that. And that's a great 4-week program where you will learn a lot. So I'm going to put the link for that in here as well, because I'd love to see you in that program. I really enjoy doing that program. The content in there is just it's great content, and you will learn a lot. Okay, I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll pop those links below that I promised you. Thanks. Bye.